Hello and welcome back to our channel, Top 10s You Should Know. Let me ask you something. Have you ever faced a decision so overwhelming that no matter how much you thought about it, your brain just kept circling back to the same confusion? Whether it's choosing a career, making an investment, or even deciding who to trust, decision fatigue is real. Today, we'll explore the top 10 mental models that make decision making easier. Each one is practical, deeply valuable, and could completely reshape the way you approach everyday choices. So grab a pen, because by the end of this video, you'll see decision making in a whole new light. 1. The first principles model. Imagine you're trying to solve a tough problem. Most people just build their solutions on top of what's already been done. But the first principles model tells us to break everything down to its core truths and then reason upward. Think of Elon Musk when he wanted to make rockets affordable. Instead of accepting the high industry cost, he asked, what are rockets really made of? Metal, fuel, electronics, materials that cost far less than the finished product. By reasoning from first principles, he cut through assumptions and built SpaceX. The power here is that instead of getting trapped in, that's just the way it's always been, you challenge the foundation. Next time you're making a decision, whether it's about finances, health, or even relationships, ask yourself, what is this really made of at the most basic level? From there, rebuild your answer. 2. The opportunity cost model. Every choice has a hidden cost, not in dollars alone, but in time, energy, and potential. The opportunity cost model is about asking, if I choose this, what am I giving up instead? For instance, if you binge watch a TV show for 6 hours, the opportunity cost might be the book you could have read, the skill you could have practiced, or the workout you skipped. Economists live by this model, but in reality, all of us face opportunity costs every day. This mental model protects you from shiny distractions. Imagine someone offering you a great business opportunity. Before jumping in, you compare not just what you'll gain, but what other doors you'll close by saying yes. It forces your brain to weigh trade-offs instead of blindly chasing what looks good. 3. The inversion principle. Instead of asking, how can I succeed? This model flips the question, what would guarantee failure? It's counterintuitive, but incredibly powerful. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's partner, often says, all I want to know is where I'm going to die, so I'll never go there. In life, sometimes success is just avoiding stupidity. Think about dieting. People obsess over the best foods to eat, but inversion says, instead, just avoid the worst foods. Same with money. Instead of hunting for the hottest stock, just avoid reckless spending and debt traps. By defining failure clearly, you sidestep it, and success naturally emerges. Inversion helps when you feel overwhelmed because flipping the problem gives you new angles and practical steps. 4. The 80-20 rule, Pareto principle. You've probably heard of this, but applying it deeply changes everything. The rule says 80% of results come from 20% of actions. That means not everything you do matters equally. In business, 20% of clients often bring 80% of revenue. In studying, 20% of concepts might drive 80% of exam scores. Once you see this, decision-making becomes about focusing on the high-impact minority, not spreading yourself thin. It teaches you to prioritize ruthlessly. So instead of stressing over being busy, you ask, what are the few things that really move the needle? When you live by this, your time feels lighter, your results sharper, and your decisions more precise because you stop sweating the noise and focus only on what truly matters. 5. The second-order thinking model. Here's the trap. Most people make decisions based only on immediate outcomes. But second-order thinking forces you to ask, and then what? For example, say you get a credit card for the rewards. First-order thinking says, free points, awesome. But second-order thinking sees, okay, but what happens if I overspend and fall into debt? It makes you trace the ripple effects. Leaders use this constantly. Before passing a law, a government must ask what happens not just tomorrow, but years later. In your life, this helps you see beyond instant gratification. Should you quit your job impulsively? Maybe it feels good now, but what's the second-order effect on your finances, your family, your career? By anticipating those, your decisions mature from impulsive to wise. 6. The circle of competence. We all like to think we know more than we do. But the circle of competence model humbles you. It says, stick to decisions in areas you truly understand, and admit ignorance where you don't. Warren Buffett mastered this. He avoided businesses he couldn't explain, no matter how trendy. That discipline saved him billions. In your life, it might mean not taking investment advice from a friend who barely understands the market, or not pretending to know a subject just to impress someone. The model doesn't say don't learn new things. It says know the boundaries of your current knowledge and respect them. By doing so, your decisions are grounded in clarity, not ego. 7. The regret minimization framework. This is Jeff Bezos' favorite mental model. He asked himself, when I'm 80 years old, will I regret not doing this? That single question led him to quit his safe job and start Amazon. It's powerful because regret is often heavier than failure. We can live with mistakes, but what if haunts us forever? So next time you're stuck, imagine your older self looking back. Which choice would they thank you for? Which one would they regret? Suddenly the noise quiets down and the long-term voice of wisdom gets louder. 8. The map is not the territory. This model teaches us not to confuse models, guides, or plans with reality itself. A map helps you navigate, but it isn't the land, it's a simplified version. In decision-making, this means don't blindly trust plans, forecasts, or theories. They're tools, not reality. For example, a financial projection is a map. It can guide you, but the real economy can shift in unexpected ways. When you remember this, you stay flexible. You don't cling to a model as if it's gospel. You adjust as reality unfolds. It's a model of humility, reminding us that no matter how good the map, life will always throw surprises. 9. The compound effect. Small choices compound into massive results over time. That's the essence of this model. If you save a little money consistently, years later, it grows into wealth. If you eat slightly unhealthy every day, it adds up to health issues. Decision-making becomes easier when you remember compounding, because you stop asking, what's the harm today? And start asking, where will this lead if repeated? That shift transforms discipline from painful to obvious. You're no longer fighting daily battles, you're playing the long game. 10. Occam's razor. When faced with competing explanations or choices, the simplest one is often the best. Occam's razor doesn't mean ignoring complexity. It means avoiding unnecessary complication. If your car won't start, don't first assume it's an exotic engine failure. It might just be the battery. If someone doesn't text back, maybe they're just busy, not plotting against you. In decision-making, this model clears the fog of overthinking. Simplicity often carries truth. And there you have it, the top 10 mental models that make decision-making easier. These aren't just abstract ideas, they're powerful lenses to cut through confusion and see clearly. Start applying even one or two in your daily life, and you'll notice how your stress around choices begins to fade. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these mental models resonated with you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's start a conversation. Until then, stay sharp, stay curious, and keep making smarter decisions.